start to expand this, you get more and more information. And I have this process when I'm researching of what I call the back burner. So when something comes up, and when this whole reptilian thing comes up, I mean, you know, you don't just say, oh, right, it's the reptilians, because this lady told me. You don't do that. You put it on the back burner and you see if more information is going to come and more information is going to come. And it did over and over years. For instance, a man who's only just died, actually, at the age of 98. A man in South Africa. He was a high Zulu shaman and the official historian of the Zulu nation, a man called Credo Mutwa. And I met him, and he didn't know anything about what I was writing about. And he started talking about something called the Chitahuri. And I said, what's the Chitahuri? And he told me all the stories and legends of Zulu lore about a reptilian race that's manipulating human society outside of human visual acuity for reasons I've explained. And then you start looking at other cultures, other belief systems, other legends in various different cultures. And you start to realize there is a massive common theme among all of them. And that is, whether you call it reptilian or not, it doesn't really matter. There is a common theme, which is there is a force which is outside human sight, is not human, which is manipulating human society via a network within human society. And if you go into the inner core of the most exclusive secret societies, why are they secret societies? To keep secrets from the rest of the population. You find that this non-human force is actually what these people are worshipping. You go back a long period and you see the ancients were worshipping the gods, and people say, oh yeah, well they were just ancient and primitive. This cult is doing the same now, and they're the same gods. So if you look at Christianity, that it talks about the demons. It talks about the fallen angels. You look at the Zulu culture, they talk about the Chitahuri. You look at the Gnostic belief system, they talk about the archons. In Islam, they have the concept of the jinn. And wherever you go, I talk to people from the Aboriginal culture in Australia. They have the same belief that there's a non-human force manipulating human society. So you have this common theme. And it's something that is becoming more and more perceived by more and more people, because it starts to make sense of the world and where the world's being taken. So this is where it all kind of comes from. And people say, well, why don't we see them? Well, why can't you see other realities outside of visible light? Because that's where this force operates from. And what it needs is a force within this visible light frequency through which it can manipulate human society. And that's this cult and all these this network of secret societies and which are manipulating world events.
I don't think there's any question that these secret societies exist, and we're going to talk about that. But okay. Do you actually believe reptiles are disguised? They can disguise as human beings? Like, do you really believe that concept? Because we know there's powerful people, but the concept of they're reptiles and they're disguised as human beings and they're able to move up in power. Do you actually believe that concept?
Well, you see, I mentioned earlier that to understand what is going on, we have to have some understanding of the nature of reality. Because if we don't, we will, quite understandably, dismiss things that are happening, but we can't perceive how they could happen. Example, you believe the world is actually solid. Our bodies are solid, that wall is solid and not a holographic, illusory, physical. Then if the world is solid, then people moving between different, if you like, shapes, what they call shape-shifting, is impossible. Utterly impossible. Of course it is. You can't You can't shapeshift solidity. It's ridiculous. But if you believe the world is solid, immediately you hear some of the things that I say, they're immediately dismissed. Not possible. Well, hold on. If you look at computers and the technological Wi-Fi world we live in now, what you're looking at is a technological reality that mimics real reality, our experienced reality, and how we create it. So you've got a Wi-Fi field. Okay, where is it? Where's the Wi-Fi field? Point it out to me. Well, I can't because you can't see it, right? Now, if you didn't know about computers, and I said to you, there is a field of information that we're living in, like a sea, people would say, well, where is it? I can't see it. Therefore, it can't exist. But because people know about computers, you say, there's a field of information, and you can decode. Oh, yeah, I know about that. Wi-Fi, that's right. And the only difference between that's rubbish, mate, and, oh, yeah, I know about that, is knowledge.